Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a cold brew just because Jovi has a little bit of sore throat. She shouldn't be having cold drink, but this was the easiest to whip out of the fridge because I already had cold brew with me and I was too lazy to make myself a hot cup of coffee. Anyways guys, today we're gonna have a chit-chatty video because that's what Jovi is in a mood for. We've had enough skincare, enough makeup talk. Let's talk life. Let's just talk progress, right? So what I'm going to be talking about today is 5 ways in which my life changed when I moved back to India, my life as a non-NRI. So a quick background for people who are new in my channel. Hi, I'm Jovita. Welcome to my channel. Please take a second to click that red subscribe button just underneath this video. And about me, I was born and brought up in Kuwait. I lived most of my life in Kuwait, all of my schooling in Kuwait. I did a little bit of my, not a little bit, I did all of my college here in Kerala. I worked a little bit in Bangalore for about a year, 1 year, and then I went back to Kuwait, lived the rest of my life there. Just 2.5 years ago, just pre-pandemic, October of 2019, I moved back to India and I've been here ever since, and now I'm a resident of India and my life has changed. This is the longest I've been in India. The kind of changes that has happened is things that you wouldn't really expect. It's kind of things that you've taken for granted. So I thought, we've got a lot of people like me here, and we've also got a lot of people who love to troll on us NRIs here. I'm a little bit of there, a little bit of here. So I thought I'll have this chit chat just so that we can have a conversation of what your opinion might be on the same thing, right? Just a fun video, guys. Let's get started. Cheers. Number 1, Deo. You might have expected a little bit more deep, philosophical kind of points, but we cannot ignore the non-ignorables, okay? In my life, I've never used a Deo. I've never sweat as much as I have sweat in India. The humidity and heat is something else. And I realized that, well, to be socially acceptable or accepted, you need to just hop on that deo wagon. And so I use deodorants now, guys. Yeah, this is not a beauty video, but if you'd like to know a few of my favorites, I love the Juicy Chemistry one. You have to get the orange and geranium version. The others are not as good in my opinion. You have to try the Carmesi ones, the roll-ons, and the Plum paste. The deodorant pastes are also really nice. What I like about all of these 3 are they are more natural and without aluminium and whatever, guys. It doesn't clog your pores and darken your underarms and whatnot. I really like them. I have discount codes for all of them or most of them. I leave those discount codes below, but this video is not about that. But let's get moving. Number 2, clothes. I realized the importance of picking the right material when I came to India because it's humid most of the time and because it's just moisture in the air most of the time. It's important to pick the right material. Polyester tend to stink. Somehow everything is revolving around smell and we want to smell fresh, right? So I realized that I'm putting in a lot more focus on the material in which my clothes are made. I definitely want slightly higher quality of material no matter what the fit, and also actually even the fit. I want minimal fabric on me because I'm in Kerala, and in Kerala we are in a sauna, a steam bath, like 10 months out of 12. So minimal fabric on me. So no sleeves, no full length, no pants, no jeans. I don't wear tight skinny jeans are out of my life for good. I cannot do it. If I do jeans, they have to be baggy, mom style, dad style, boyfriend style, call it whatever you want. It has to be loose, okay? And it can't be long because I don't want to be dragging mud around. So it has to be cuffed. It has to be shorter. I cannot layer. I do not know how people layer anymore. When I was in the Middle East, layering was my favorite thing to do because the number of outfits that you can create with just a few 5-6 basic pieces, beautiful. I loved how I could just get creative with my clothes back in the Middle East, but here you cannot. It's too hot. I cannot wear anything other than my innerwear on top of a t-shirt or a dress. Most of the time I'm wearing a one piece, like a dress, because also I cannot slide into like a pant and a cannot. Easy, minimal, quick, smart, efficient is how we dress now. Yeah, never thought clothes would change as much being a full-time resident of India. And of course, everything that I'm saying is very, very particular to Kerala, the state, because India is such a large country and our climate changes vastly, depending on which state you are in. All of this change when I travel to Bangalore or Bombay or Delhi, but I live in Kerala, I'm based out of Kerala, so yeah. I think this cold coffee is aggravating my sore throat, but oh my god. Number 3, taxes. You know, the concept of taxes is so alien to me. And we were also not taught taxes. I did study Indian syllabus, I did CBSE and everything, but we were never taught taxes in school. And I think taxes should be a mandatory subject, or at least a portion in some subject. Like we had civil or some, all the dumb things that we learned, but we never learned taxes. I had to figure out the hard way. I made a few mistakes, which were not fun, but yeah, 2.5 years down the line, I've kind of finally managed to understand the basics of taxes, like the GST and the TDS and ITR, the monthly filing, the quarterly filing. Oh my god. And because my parents were NRIs too, I couldn't really look up at them for a lot of help either, because they were clueless too, Yeah, I learned the hard way, but right now I think I've got it down, guys. It's a little difficult, it's annoying during that time of the month, but I think we're okay. Getting a good accountant is so important. I switched through 2 accountants. I'm on my 3rd one, and now I think I'm finally happy. I found my fit. Just like a therapist, you need to find the right fit in India, and the good thing is that there are so many people, so it's fine. You'll find your fit at some point, or like a good pair of jeans, But taxes. Ugh. Oh my god. Number 4. How I took air conditioning for granted. Also comes from the fact that Kuwait is the hottest country in the world, and you literally will drop dead without air conditioning. So we need it's a necessity. But also the temperatures are rising in India. It is pretty much a necessity at this point here, but also the fact that electricity is so expensive. We are very mindful of consuming electricity, at least I am. Bills, they just keep piling up, and you don't want your electricity to leave a hole in your heart. And air conditioning is like a conscious decision, like how badly do I want to be comfortable right now. Number 5, that's not 5, there we go. Food habits. My food habits have changed. I remember when I was in the Middle East, my food habits were just inherently so bad, okay? I think we have a very skewed understanding of what is healthy back in the Middle East. I don't know if it is the ease, the lack of time, or the availability. I do not know what it is, but maybe even the way things are manufactured. We might have to go deep into like milk production, hormones fed to the cows. And anyways, I don't really consume dairy anymore, but my habits have changed so much. I do not have a lot of bread anymore. I barely have dairy anymore. I don't have chips. That's the biggest change, because that used to be my guilty pleasure, and chips used to be what I used to rely on when I was anxious and sad and depressed. And I heavily relied on the crunch of the chips to make me feel happy and calm. I don't do that anymore. Maybe because we've got trees and we've got like the beautiful weather sometimes during the year. We've got amazing friends and a beautiful social circle, I guess. Also access to therapists at a much better price. It was so expensive in Kuwait. I always wondered, how does your average Joe afford therapy? I mean, therapy has to be affordable, because it's not luxury therapy. It is a medication. It has to be treated like Panadol or paracetamol. And it was just way too expensive in Kuwait. So maybe the fact that I have easy access to therapy over here, I don't need chips as much. So in general, I know I started with food habits and ended with therapy, but yeah, I eat a lot healthier now that I'm in India. Number 6, it kind of ties in with what I went off on a rant in number 5, but I actually started living a little more after I moved back to India. I don't know if it is the subliminal racism that we are subjected to in Kuwait. Whatever said and done, guys, we are looked at as second class or third class citizens there. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us also makes you feel like you are not there. That's not right, to treat an entire community like a second class, third class based on their nationality. It's just not right. We are subjected to, I don't know how things are anymore, but I'm talking about up until 3 years ago, it was like that. So I just didn't enjoy my life as much as I'm enjoying my life right now. Probably the fact that I have more of my people around, I have more freedom, there is no language barrier. I mean, I could get around in Arabic, but of course I wasn't fluent in Arabic. So even though I'm not fluent in Hindi, I can still be so much more comfortable in any state in India than I would be in Kuwait, even though I was born and I lived most of my life there. So strange, so strange. I don't think any other part of the world, NRIs from US and UK, will not be able to relate to this problem that kids in the Middle East go through, because we do not, at the end of the day, we don't belong anywhere. We don't belong to a purebred Indian because we are NRIs at the end of the day. And we do not belong to the Arab nation either because we are not Arabs there. We are pure Indians there, and we do not fully fall into like the NRI class Indians because we are not fully fancied NRIs either. So it's a very midway portion that we Gulfie kids go through, I feel. I'm sure my Gulfies can relate. Let me know in the comments if you can relate. Number 7, I started traveling more. As funny as it is, because Middle East is so centrally positioned that if you want to travel the world, being in Middle East is the best thing. Even to get visa, transit points, whatnot, Middle East is literally the best for connections, best aircrafts, whatever. But the fact that when you're in the Middle East, when you think of travel, you immediately think of going to a different country. So you have to apply for the visa. Being Indian passport holders, we don't have, automatic access to all the countries in the world. But when you're in India, the fact that India is such a huge country and India has so much to offer. We've got the mountain and river and, water and forest and city and nightlife and beach, and we've got it all. So all you have to do is book the ticket and fly. Leads to my previous point where I am living more instead of, planning this trip for 6 months and then making that one trip and then being exhausted mentally and financially and physically after. No. You just keep traveling all the time, which is amazing. Number 8, I also started working more. As a content creator, I was also stuck in a very weird bubble when I was in the Middle East, I guess, because I was not Arab enough for the Arabs, but I was not Indian enough for the Indians. So I was in a midway point. But now that I'm in India, I'm in India, I'm an Indian, I can relate more to my audience, brands can approach me easier. So I guess, I also just started working more, which is great. It very well supplements my living more and traveling more and eating better, and it all goes in hand. Isn't that amazing, darling? Cheers to that. Number 9, my skin has changed. For the better or for the worse, I do not know, but my skin has changed. Because of the air conditioning and the really dry, extreme weather in Kuwait, my skin was extremely dry. I feel like my skin has gotten younger after I came back to India, maybe because of all the moisture in the air, but also it's gotten a little bit more oilier and I'm breaking out. We've got pimples all the time, but that's okay. We've got amazing skincare products that I can use to tame down the pimples, but my skin has definitely changed, and it took me a while to figure out how to cope with this new weather and the new skin that I have. But we're there, 2 years down the line. It's all a-okay. My hair. So when I was in Kuwait, I used to blow dry it a lot. I used to flat iron it a lot, that was also a more accepted, groomed way of presenting yourself. Now that I'm in Kerala, there is no point, guys. You cannot. There is no point in blow drying it, air wrapping it, flat ironing it, corralling it. Dyson sits in my cupboard collecting dust. So I have taken to the curly girl whenever I feel like. Other days I just put it up into a ponytail or a bun, and that hair is out of the way. In the beginning, I found it extremely frustrating because my hair never looked good. It just looked like a big fluff of cotton candy, and that didn't look nice, guys. So I had to learn how to manage my hair in this extreme humid weather, because my hair is also extremely fine, so, and porous, so it absorbs all that humidity from the air and just fluffs up, which is not attractive. But now I've got a really nice system in place. I've got some amazing hair products that I cannot deal without. I've got a video on my favorite hair products, especially for my bleached hair, because that makes your hair even more porous and even more fluffy. But yeah, on the card, guys, I will link it. Love some of my hair serums and moisturizers, conditioners, number threes. I can't do without it anymore. But my hair looks nice, and I like it. A not so nice point, guys. Number 11. The quality of certain services like salons. I'm talking about salons. It's not so great. Again, I speak with respect to Kerala because this is where I live. I don't do laser hair removal anymore. I wish I could. I need touch-ups. If you want to know about laser hair removal, I have a video as well. I'll link it up somewhere over here. But you need to touch up every once in a while. Even, I've done 9 sessions. Once a year, touch-up would be enough for me at this point. But I just didn't trust the services or the service centers or the clinics or whatever you want to call it, to do any touch-ups. But it's been really bothering me. So I took the chance and I went to a clinic, a highly recommended, highly rated clinic here in Cochin, where apparently even celebs go to, and they burnt me. They burnt my skin, guys, and they just gave me a burn medicine and they called it a day. They didn't even, so I'm not gonna, no, not nice. I don't like it at all. And even hair, many people have burnt my hair, me trying to bleach it, color it. So I finally found a really nice salon. It's called Barriques in Cochin, if you are in Cochin. But generally, it's very difficult to find really good beauty services, at least in Kerala. Also, I know that there are no governing bodies. A lot of salons still just open without any regulation. So there are people in salons that flat iron wet hair. Yeah, that's burning your hair to crisp potato fries. What happens to potato fries when you crush them? Powders. Okay, you don't want to fry your hair like that. People hold expired makeup products, and that whole controversial video that I did, I took it down anyways. Yeah, no standard. There is no regulatory body, so you have to do your own research and go to clinics or salons. It's up to you. And finally, number 12. That's not 12, that's 7. So number 12. Restaurants, guys. I miss the variety in food. I've never considered myself to be a foodie. I was very happy just having my hot Cheetos when I was back in Kuwait. But I miss good sushi. We get sushi here, but it's not good sushi, I miss good ramen, and I miss hot Cheetos. I miss really good smoked salmon. It's not available right now, but probably 2 years from now, might be. Now I'm tired. It ended on a bad note. In the beginning, I'm like, yeah, this happened and this happened. Yes. And by the end, I'm like, oh, someone feed me ramen. Someone give me a plate of sushi, please, darling. Anyway, so this is how my life took a 360-degree turn after I shifted from being an NRI to a fully resident Indian. I cannot wait to read your comments and hear your opinions, and let's have a discussion because girls love to talk. That's it, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend or something, because YouTube is doing its thing and people are just watching shorts and reels now. Nobody wants to watch long form content anymore, and that is affecting long form content creators like myself, right? Thank you. I love you so much. Bye.